Hi guys, this is Nay, and this is my husband Jamel, and we're here live. And I just have another um, opening on my computer, so we're gonna lower the volume on that while we start. So bear with us. Okay, so today we're talking about 11 wealth strategies you need to become completely debt free. And before we start, we want to introduce ourselves first. And I'm really excited to have Jamel on because he likes to sleep in, but because he loves you and he wants to share his message. He woke up early this morning. It's actually 6:30 in Hawaii time, so it's kind of early on a Saturday. But he woke up early to share his message and our message because we actually really want everyone watching this to become completely debt free, and we want you to become completely debt free within just 5 years or less. And the reason we want you to do that is because it feels so good to do that, and we did it. And so we want this message today to really hit home, and that you can use what we teach you today, the 11 wealth strategies. Just write them down, take notes, watch this again and again. The replay is on yesfinanciallyfree.com, so that you can do what we did and become completely debt free and feel wealthy every day. So my name is May, and my story is that. Oh, and I'm going to put our names on the screen so you can see what our names are. So I'm going to do that really fast. But anyway, I started my cycle of becoming like in debt. It was because actually I actually went to a really good school. I went to an Ivy League college. I'm not bragging. I just want to tell you that I worked hard in school. I got A's. So I got to go to a good college. It was Dartmouth College. It's an Ivy League college. And while I was there, I learned a lot of things like calculus, and I learned linguistics. I learned a lot of interesting things, but I didn't really learn how to manage my money. I did learn how to have a big ego, though, because I felt like I had to be successful because I went to an Ivy League college, so I'm going to be the successful one. You know what I mean? Egotistical Ivy League grad. Like doctors and lawyers who go to Ivy League colleges and they think they're better than other people. I kind of had an ego problem. So when I hit my mid 30s and I wasn't a professional and I wasn't super successful, I started overspending on educational courses because I felt like I needed to be somewhere else. I needed to be more successful. So I started spending on everything, different educational courses and different things. And I started getting into debt. And not only that, I had some relationship issues, which also got me into debt. That was the first thing, actually. And so thinking back on it now, I just had low self-esteem. But at the time, I didn't know what was going on. Okay. So I was just spending. And I actually spent until my credit card got rejected. That's when I stopped. All right. And it didn't even end there, because then I would consolidate my debt and then I would start spending again. So I would get all my debt off my credit card onto a loan, feel good, right? And then I'd start using my credit card again and then maxed it out. And then now I had all this personal loan debt, and then I had credit card debt. All right. So I had all this debt. And then I just cut up my credit cards because it was like, what else can I do? I got to stop this. I'm getting more and more in debt. And at the time, I got to a point where I had about negative, my net worth was negative 33,000 at its worst, which means my debt was about like 50,000. And that's all consumer debt. I didn't own a house or anything. I wasn't borrowing up to pay for a car. I was just in debt from spending. And using these 11 wealth strategies we're going to teach you today, I got completely debt free April of this year, 2016. It took me about 5 years to get rid of all of my debt. And it feels great. I have more money I can spend every month. And my husband feels good because his wife doesn't have debt anymore. But I'm going to let Jamel share his story. So Jamel, why don't you share your story?
Yeah, so my name is Jamel. I'm actually not from Hawaii. I've actually moved here 4 years ago. So prior to being debt free, actually took me about 3 years to be debt free. I was in debt for about $400,000. I had to own a home. I also had, of course, my credit card debts, and that was giving me a lot of anxiety. I think at one point I was taking some anxiety pills. I didn't take it often, but I did take it, and I was in a nervous wreck, and I hid it well because I didn't want anyone to know that I had all this debt. And I mean, even though I had a great job, I didn't know how to manage my money well. So and then of course meeting May, she kind of helped me get through and managing my money wisely. I mean, even though I had a major debt, I also had some cash I had in which I transitioned and transferred over to a stock REITs, and that started giving me some passive income. At that time, it was giving me about $500 a month. Now it's only giving me about $200. But either way, haven't touched that capital. I've left it there, and it's continued to pay me monthly dividends, so which I'm happy about. Uh, and of course, with other large debt that I had, I actually own a home in California. And of course, during the mortgage crisis, uh, my house became upside down. I was finding all kinds of ways trying to work with the bank to see if they can lower, of course, the property uh, uh, house, and they wouldn't work with me. Actually, I was working with them for about a year, and it just finally came down that someone advised me that I should just short sell the house, which I finally did. It took me another year after the fact to short sell. I had to find a real estate broker. I had to find well, they had to find buyers, and it took about three buyers to finally sell the house. The first one, um, it didn't go through. The second one, they didn't have the right finance, and the third one finally agreed to purchasing the house, and which I was thankful and grateful for. And that was happening while I was here in Hawaii. The short sale happened while I was here in Hawaii. I took care of everything over the phone, over emails, over faxes, just making sure that everything was taken care of. So I'm so grateful now that I've been debt free. My car is all paid for. I'm managing my money well. We live. Even though Hawaii is a very expensive place, a lot of people always tell me that Hawaii is expensive, but to me it's always been about how you manage your money and the things that you do here in Hawaii. For us, we just live simply. We enjoy the beach. We go to the beach, go surfing, swimming, playing on the beach sand, riding around on our tricycle with my son Jordan. So it's a wonderful place to live. I do miss the mainland, of course. My family's still there, my brother, my sister, and I still love to travel. So
You visit.
we visit, and
Yeah.
we're able to still travel. I'll be traveling again in March, going to LA and Washington D.C. And again, it's being debt free, and of course, creating the right mindset of reasons why you want to be debt free and financially free, and what the purpose and intention that you want to create for yourself and your family. Definitely being healthy and enjoying life to the maximum. I don't know if you guys know, I'm also in the industry of, I work in the hospice care. For a lot of you, if you don't know what hospice is, it's all about end of life care and focusing on patients and families that have either a terminal diagnosis or advanced disease that require care at home or wherever they reside. So I and our team work with the patient and family to make sure that they're getting the best care possible. Focus on that quality of life and comfort care. So that's me.
Yeah, so how does it feel now? Do you have any anxiety? You taking anxiety pills?
No, I sleep great.
He sleeps really good.
I sleep really good. I think that's one of my things that I really, really enjoy sleeping. I do like to work out. I work out almost every day.
A lot. We both
Um,
work out.
Either before work or after work, or sometimes twice a day, just depending. So, being debt free, I mean, but I do pay for my gym membership, which I enjoy. It's not that much, however, it's something it's for me. It's a luxury. It's definitely it's a luxury to have a gym membership here in Hawaii, and I take full advantage of it. I go there. I'm able to network with people, uh, talk with a few people that I know. I meet them on the street here in Hawaii. Hawaii is such a small island. You get to, everyone's so nice here, but well, that I've experienced so far. I know not everyone might have the same experience. However, for me, I blend in well, as you can see. I have the dark colored skin. However, I don't speak the Hawaiian or Pidgin here yet. Maybe in the next 5 years, I might have the accent. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. People think he speaks Pidgin. But anyway, you were really in debt in 2012. That's when we got married. And actually, at the time, he was a little worried about my debt, but then I was kind of worried about his debt because his debt was way more than mine. Right? You were like negative 400 something, right? Thousand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So his debt was negative 400,000. I was only at 50,000 in debt, but he had a debt because of a house was one of the, and it was underwater, which is one of the biggest, a mortgage with also a second line of credit on it and stuff. So for me, it was kind of stressful too, but we use these wealth strategy techniques. And when did you actually become debt free? Well, was it last year?
Yeah, late last year.
Like around December, November.
Yeah.
So he actually got completely debt free in November of 2015. So it only took him, you like 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Less than 4 years, 3 years. It only took him 3 years, and his debt was huger than mine. So, like I said, we want you to become completely debt free, right? We want everyone watching this. That's why he woke up early. He loves his sleep, like you just said. So we want you to become wealthy, completely debt free, and we have faith in you. We believe in you. You can do it. I did it. He did it. We have different circumstances. He had a house that was underwater. I didn't have a house that was underwater. He owed money in a car. I didn't owe money in a car. I had no assets. He had assets, but they were like upside down, right? I had no assets. I was just spending uncontrollably, right? So we had different issues, but we both became debt free. And now we both have passive income coming in, and we have a lot of extra income. In fact, he's going to allow me to leave my job soon in about a month. And then I'm going to be focusing full time on what I love to do, which is this blogging business and being a mom. So, Javin, who's joining us, he's figuring stuff out. So he just texted me something. He's trying to get on the Javin Jones. He's on the inner economy call. He likes to help people create wealth from the inside. He's going to be on soon, but he's not on right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into our presentation. And if you have any questions at any time, just go to yesfinanciallyfree.com. I put our blog up, yesfinanciallyfree.com. There's a contact tab. If you look on the blog, there's this contact on the top. You can contact us. You just write in your name, your email, write in whatever you want to ask, and we can help you with any questions that you might have with what we're going to share today. All right, so we're going to get started, and I hope that you learn a lot, take a lot of notes, and let's take a look at the presentation. So I'm just going to get my slides up. Hold on 1 second for you guys. Share screen, share. Okay. So now I'm going to go right here, and Jamal, if you could just take a look at your computer, make sure this is showing correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. So I'm going to turn it on presentation mode, and we'll see how that works. How's it working? Does it look good, Jamal?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So I'm going to go right into the presentation, 11 Key Wealth Strategies to Become Completely Debt-Free, and by May Dodalal. So let's go check them out right now. And this, by the way, this presentation is going to only take up about 30 minutes. So it's fast, and it's specific, and it's pointed at what's really important. So I want you to review it often if you miss something, because I'm going to go through it a little quickly. Okay? So the first thing is, sorry, we're on number 2 here. Number 1. Wealth strategy number 1 is pay yourself first. At least 10% of after-tax dollars goes into your financial freedom account. And that's actually taken from the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. And I really like this book because I think it's more realistic than other Other philosophies say that you should pay off debt first and then save. And to me, that doesn't work if you are a chronic spender or if you're often in debt. If you are in debt more than you aren't, then paying off debt before you save doesn't really work, okay? Because there's a psychological benefit to saving, all right? So yes, even if you have debt, I think you should save starting today, okay? Now, save at least 10% of everything you make. Every time you get paid, every time you get your paycheck, every time someone gives you money, take 10% of that money and put it aside into an account. Call it your financial freedom account. Put it in there. It can be a savings account for now, that's fine. And do it even if you have debt. What are the psychological benefits? Well, as soon as you start doing it, and if you do it today with like $1 and you put 10 cents in a jar, and you call it your financial freedom jar, you will never be broke again starting today. Is that powerful for you? Like the feeling of having no money is the feeling of being broke, right? Of being poor. If you start saving today, you are no longer poor. Why is that? Because you have money. You have money in a savings account. So there's a psychological benefit to saving even while you have debt. And by the time you pay off your debt, you're going to have money. You're not going to be at zero. You're going to be at wherever your savings account is and your passive income is. So to me, I agree with T. Harv Eker, and my husband and I both did this. I had him do these accounts, and he structured his accounts the same way. He has a financial freedom account as well. So that's the first wealth strategy. It's extremely important. Please do this. All right. If you don't do anything else, do this. Pay yourself first. And if you don't have enough money to take out 10% of everything you make, then take $1 every day, split it up, and take 10 cents out and put it in a jar. Okay, wealth strategy number 2 is manage your money wisely. This has to do with investing versus spending, okay? So basically, when you start saving your money, you're going to invest it. You're not going to spend it anymore. Now, that doesn't mean you don't pay for rent or food, but what it means is that you're going to be more smart about what you do with your money. So there's a few things to note here. First of all, with the money you're saving for yourself in your financial freedom account, there's different ways of layering investment. And I got this from The Values Factor by John DeMartini. But basically what it says is you start with a cash account. Keep cash on hand at least 3 months of what you make. So if you make $3,000 a month, then you want to save at least $9,000. Now, this account is just your cash account. It's the foundation of your savings. It's the foundation of your financial freedom. Why is it good to have cash on hand? This is actually psychological as well. When you have 3 months of cash on hand, you're going to feel more stable. The money choices you make will be more stable. You're not going to make choices out of desperation anymore because you have money. You're going to feel better. You're going to attract people who also have money, and then more opportunities are going to come to you. And then that brings about layering investments. So after you have your cash account, you keep putting money into your account, right? You keep putting money in your financial freedom account. Every time you get paid, money goes in there. As you get better, as you get more and more money, you pass the $9,000 mark in our example, then you start layering investments. You start with doing other kinds of investments with more and more risk. So you might put $9,000 into bonds. And then after that, $9,000 into blue chip stock. And then after that, $9,000 into foreign stock. And then you get more and more risky. Okay, so that's what it means by start with cash, and that's liquidity. Cash is liquid, you can move it around easy, and then go up from there. Another way to manage your money is to have a budget. I use this budget. 10% goes into my financial freedom account, which I pay myself first. 10% goes into my fun account. 10% into education. 10% into a long-term saving for spending account. So that's a savings account where you're saving up money to buy something bigger, like a car or a vacation or something. 5% goes into a give account. That's for charity, tithing, and you could make that 10% if you want. That's fine. If you make the give 10%, the next one, necessities, becomes 50%. But you can also do 55% necessities. Necessities is your rent and the food you need and the clothes you need to buy. Okay, so that's a good budget to start with. Actually, when I started my journey, I could not do this budget because I did not make enough money to split it up that way. I could do the financial freedom deposits, but I could not afford all the fun and education and all that. So in the beginning, I just split $1 between them. And also, I got a tax refund from the last webinar we did last week. We talked about tax strategies. When I started my own business, I started getting huge tax refunds, huge for me anyway. And I would split it up according to this percentage. And I want you to experiment with your budget because you might work with a better budget. All right, but you need to budget. You need to know what you're spending your money on. You need to know where your money's going, and you need to have a plan. Okay. Now, for couples, there's other ways to do budgeting. And I'm going to share with you what we do as a couple, which I learned from the Millionaire Mind Intensive seminar, which basically says that I have my own accounts. I have my own financial freedom account, fun account, education account, long-term savings for spending account, give account, and necessities account. My husband, Jamal, also has his own personal account, which he chooses not to split up exactly like this, but that's his choice. We also have we have joint accounts, which are just like that, what I have here, 10% financial free. We have the same thing going on. And we have joint accounts where we each put money into the joint accounts. And the joint accounts pay for joint expenses like rent and food when we go out to eat together and things like that. Whereas our individual accounts pay for when we go out by ourselves or when we want to buy each other gifts or, you know, personal expenses. If my husband wants to buy himself, you know, a new phone, he has money to do that. Okay, wealth strategy number 3, track your net worth. What is net worth? It's a measure of wealth. It's a measure of how much you actually have. So when I said I had $50,000 in debt, I said my net worth was actually $33,000, negative $33,000. The reason my net worth was negative $33,000 and not negative $50,000 was because I actually had $17,000 in assets. Okay, so basically I had $17,000 in cash or stocks or something like that. So you take what you have, all your cash, all the equity you have in your home and your cars, anything that you have, subtract what you owe, and that is your net worth. Okay, so even though my husband said he owed, you know, before $400,000, his net worth was probably around negative 200 or negative 300, something like that, because he also had assets. Okay, so your net worth is your actual wealth. It's what you have minus what you owe. And a lot of wealthy people do have debt. They might have mortgages on homes or commercial loans on buildings that they own, that they rent, but their rental income is greater than their loan payments. So in actuality, they're making money, but they had to leverage, you know, they had to borrow money. So it's not that you never want to have debt, but you want to have your net worth always increasing. And the best way to measure your wealth is to look at your net worth and track it. So calculate your net worth. So get everything, figure out everything you have and subtract everything you owe. My husband and I, we use mint.com, mint.com. And then what you do is you chart it. You put it on a chart. And I put an example of a chart here so you can see how to do it. Basically, every month you put on a graph, you put the month, you go by month, and then you put a dot where your money is, where your net worth is. So if your net worth in January was negative, you know, 30,000 or something, then you put a dot there. And then if it increased to negative 25,000 in February, you put a dot there. And then if it went up to negative, you know, so you track your net worth so it's always improving. Okay. And if you track it like this and you chart it, even if it's negative, you can still improve it. The graph can go up. Now, when I started and when my husband started, we both had a negative net worth, but it feels good when it starts going up. So this is what you can do every month to help yourself. The reason this is important is because what you focus on grows, okay? And you want to grow your net worth. You want to be wealthy, right? This is important. So that's why you track your net worth. This is easy to do. The first time might be hard because you have to figure out everything you have and everything you owe. But once you get used to it, it's really easy to do, and it's important that you do it, okay? Wealth strategy number 4, renegotiate terms of your money. Okay, you have money. It's your money. Take control of your money, okay? So one thing you can do right off the bat, if you have a lot of credit card debt, you can consolidate your credit card debt, okay? So you take all that credit card debt that you're paying, you know, 14%, 18%, whatever interest you're paying that's really high. Take all that debt, apply for a personal loan at a bank, and then tell them you're consolidating debt. What they'll do is they'll issue a loan if you're creditworthy. They'll issue you a loan, and then you take that loan payment, you pay off all your credit cards, and then you close them. Okay? That's consolidating credit card debt. That's one way to reduce your debt. Renegotiate what you pay with this procedure. Okay. Another way to renegotiate terms of your money is just ask for better deals. My husband's really good at this, actually. Ask for a better deal. So if you have car insurance, right, go ahead and call other insurance companies and see if you can get a better deal. Car insurance is probably the easiest one to get a better deal on, because when you call another company, they actually have an alert system that tells them that you called another company, so they're more likely to reduce your rate. Okay, so just call around, shop around, and get a better deal. Now with credit cards, you can even lower your credit card interest rate. All you have to do is call and ask for what you want. So you can call up your credit card company and you just ask them, say, I would like my rate reduced to 5%. It is possible to get a rate of 5% on a credit card. My mother has a rate of 5% on her credit card, so it is possible. And this is what I did. I called my credit cards and I asked them for a lower rate. Step 2 is take notes on who you talk to, right? Write their name down, what day it is, what time it is, what they said. If they say no, ask for a manager. If they say yes, great, you're done, right? If they say no, ask for the manager and then repeat. What does that mean? You call the manager, you ask for what you want. I want 5% on my credit card. Take notes on their name, when you talk to them, and what happened. And then if they say no, ask for their manager. For one credit card company, I actually had to go up to the president of the company, and I did. And I faxed the president a letter, and I got what I wanted. So you can do this, okay? That's how you renegotiate terms of your money. Take control of your money like Donald Trump, like a business person, right? Be the bully around your money. It's your money. Don't let people just take it from you. Actually, there's a good story about this I read the other day, but I'll tell you later because we're on time constraint. But if you earned it, you deserve to keep it. Wealth strategy number 5, adopt wealth thinking. Okay, focus on a SMART goal. What does SMART mean? SMART means it's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's risky, and there's a time limit. Okay, so create a SMART goal. Write it down, read it daily. I'll give you what mine was back in 2012. I made a goal that I will have a positive net worth on or before July 31st, 2013. At the time, my net worth was negative 30,000. Okay? Now, I wanted to have a positive net worth, and I wanted to do it by on or before July 31st, 2013. That was a specific goal. You can measure it because you can calculate net worth. It was attainable. Even though I was negative 30,000, there was a way. It was possible to do. It was risky because I was negative 30,000 and I wanted to be positive, and I had a time constraint. And I'm proud to say that I made my goal, okay? So you can do it too, but you have to create a SMART goal. Write it down. Read it daily. Affirmations. You can use affirmations. What are some affirmations? Affirmations are like wealth comes easily. Opportunities for passive income come often. I am financially free. Say things that make you feel good. You know, that positive thoughts about money. Money is good, right? Now, you might have to do a belief change procedure if you have beliefs that don't help you with your wealth. What is a belief that doesn't help you? Money is the root of all evil. That belief will not help you create money. Because if you believe money is the root of all evil, that means if you get money, you'll be evil, right? So you'll never want money. So how do you change that belief? First, you have to realize you have that belief. So if you have the belief, money is the root of all evil, you have to identify that. Oh, I have this belief. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize I thought this all the time, right? Challenge the belief. How do you challenge it? You say, is money really the root of all evil? Don't people like Mother Teresa use money to build hospitals? Don't people donate to great causes and build schools and build churches? And isn't money what mothers use to buy their children food and clothes and you know, houses to, you know, raise children? And then once you challenge it and you realize money is not the root of all evil, sorry, my husband's got a cough. You replace the belief with something better. So what's a better belief than money is the root of all evil? Well, you could replace it with money is a blessing to society. Money is a true gift. Money creates change, positive change in the world. Money is noble and blessed, you know. So that's how you do a belief change. First, you identify, then you challenge, and you replace. I challenge you right now or after this webinar to just write down the first 10 beliefs you have about money. And if you see any of those beliefs are negative, Do this process, write down the new replacement belief, and then say those new beliefs to yourself as your affirmations every day. Wealth strategy number 6, increase your passive income. This is where most people don't understand wealth. They have no idea what passive income is. They don't understand it. Wealthy people know exactly what I'm talking about, and that's why they're wealthy. Passive income is money on autopilot. So that means money comes in without you having to think about it, with you having to do anything about it. What kind of money is that? Well, Jamal mentioned earlier that we invest in REITs, REIT, real estate investment trust, that we get dividends on. Okay, there's other ways to get passive income. That's something that we enjoy doing, so we focus on that a lot. You can get interest on a savings account, which is where I recommend you start. If you have nothing and you're starting from scratch, start with a savings account. It's the safest place to put your money, so start there. The interest rate is not high, but there is an interest rate, and that interest that you earn on your savings is considered passive income, right? If you didn't do anything and you left your savings there, it would still make that interest. And the good news is interest can only go up. It can't really go down. So that's a good news. You can also put it in CDs, certificates of deposits, which usually have higher interest rates. You can put it in bonds. Right now, we invest in bonds to our own business, and that pay us 6%. You can do that. Royalties on books. If you write a book and you get royalties, that's passive income. If you have a blog or a website, like I have a blog, yesfinanciallyfree.com, Jamel has a blog, sharehospice.com. These blogs, you can have ads on these blogs, and if people click on and buy things from you, you get income. And once your blog or website gets popular enough, you can create passive income from blogs, websites. That's actually similar to rental income, because if you have a house that you rent or an apartment building and you rent it, you get rental income. That's also passive income. As long as you're not the one running the rental, you have a property manager, then it really is passive income. Dividends from stocks, like we were saying, you buy stock, maybe you buy IBM or Apple isn't really the best dividend yielding stock, because sometimes they issue dividends, sometimes they don't. But IBM is famous for always being issuing dividends for a very long time. You do real estate investment trust, you can get dividends from stocks. Okay, so these are types of passive income. You need to work on increasing your passive income. Well, strategy number 7 is reduce your expenses. So if you are a chronic credit card user, then stop carrying credit cards around. You can cut them up, don't use them anymore, carry cash in your wallet instead. It's actually proven, they've done surveys on people spending. If you carry cash and you spend less money, 2% less when you carry cash than when you use credit card. So that's one way to reduce expenses. Set a time limit for large purchases. So let's say, not a time limit. Yeah, time limit, and set a dollar limit too. So what does that mean? Let's say you see something you love, like a fancy TV or something, and it costs $1,000, and you really want to buy it. Well, let's say you have a dollar limit. If I spend over, I don't know, $100 on anything, I need to think about it for one day. Okay? So if you see anything that's over $100, you cannot buy it right away. You have to sit on it for a day and then buy it. So if you do that, if you set a time limit and a dollar limit, that will limit the amount of spending you do. Because a lot of people say that when they go home and they think about it for a day, they realize they don't really need it and they won't buy it, which saves you tons of money from spontaneous shopping. Okay, the next one, eliminate unnecessary costs. Let's say you have a television and you have the full package and you spend like hundreds of dollars a month on television. Do you really need a television? Maybe you should just spend more time outdoors with your children or just reading books. If you stop paying for that TV subscription, you've just saved yourself hundreds of dollars a month, which is thousands of dollars a year. What about beverages? All you really need to do is drink water, right? If you're low on electrolytes, add salt to your water. That's all you really need to do, okay, people? So if you're buying lots of beverages, like ionized drinks, Monster, whatever those things are called, energy drinks, if you're buying like coffee from Starbucks, do you know how much money that costs? If you stop paying for that, you'll save so much money. Cigarettes. If you're addicted to smoking and it's hard to quit, well, quit because it'll save you money, because cigarettes are expensive. Wealth strategy number 8 is gratitude. Why is gratitude important? Because actually, one of the ways to be wealthy right now is to feel good about money and to feel good about your money and to feel good about wealth. So you can practice gratitude right now. And a lot of wealthy people that I've studied with and studied, they all do this. So what are some things that you can do right now? You can be grateful for all the money you have right now, right? People who are poor and people who don't have a lot of money, they complain about money. Even the money they have, they complain about. How do you think your money feels, right? Pretend your money was your girlfriend or your boyfriend. What if you spoke to your girlfriend or boyfriend like you do about money? Would they stay around? You want to be nice to your money. Feel grateful for it. So even if you only have $1 in your pocket, feel grateful for that dollar. Take that dollar out, make it neat and tidy. Don't just crunch it up in your pocket. Put it nice and neat in a nice billfold wallet. Keep it safe. Be grateful for the money that you have right now. You find a penny on the street, pick it up and feel gratitude for that penny, right? They taught us in the Millionaire Mind Intensive to pick up pennies that we find and jump into the air and say, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm a money magnet, right? It was exciting and it was fun, but it pointed out that you should be grateful for everything that you have, and then more will come, right? When you're grateful for your husband or your wife, and you show that you're grateful, don't they want to be around you more? It's the same thing with money. Also, be grateful for your bills. I learned that from this book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Basically, what it talks about is your bills. Your bills are when people trusted you enough to let you have merchandise before you even give them money, right? That's amazing. So you're using their stuff before you even pay them. So you should be grateful. Feel gratitude for all of your bills, all of them. Wealth strategy number 9 is forgiveness. Forgive others, forgive yourself. So forgiveness is important because if you are if you're feeling resentful toward people, there's a lot of negative energy that pulls you down. It will also repel people. Okay, so you wanna create an energy around you that's positive. You want to feel good. You want to open up channels in your body so that wealth can come in. So you have to get rid of resentment, bitterness, because all that is feelings you have that are torturing you. The other person that you want to forgive, whether it's somebody else or you, say it's somebody else. They might not even know they did anything wrong to you. Okay, they might have no clue. They have no feelings on it. It's you that carries these negative feelings. So what you have to do is forgive them. That doesn't mean you think what they did was good. Okay, that doesn't mean you condone what they did. All it means is you forgive them. Forgiveness means that you know that everyone is doing the best they can at the time, right? Maybe they weren't raised the same way as you. Maybe they don't know the same things that you do about how to deal with people. Maybe they're just learning, right? I mean, when I started out my job, I did so many things. My boss had to correct so many things. I just didn't know any better. Like, I would take phone calls and not give her the message for an hour later, and she'd be like, can you please give me the message right away? And then I was like, okay, and then I did it instantly. But I just didn't know any better at the time, okay? So you have to forgive others because everyone's at their own stage in life, right? And if you forgive them, all it means is you're letting go of your negativity around them, okay? Doesn't mean that you think what they did is good. It just means you're letting it go. So how can you forgive? Some steps to forgive, even if it's hard, because sometimes it's really hard to forgive. The first step is to ask yourself, is it possible for me to forgive this person? And you can answer that. And then number 2 is, will I forgive this person, right? And then number 3 is, when will I forgive this person? If you go through these questions in your head, it'll actually help you forgive faster. Well, strategy number 10, get support. It's not easy to do things sometimes, especially if it's a really hard thing. If you're in debt and you've been in debt for a long time, you really want wealth and you have no idea how to do it, you need support, okay? It's not something that you can do by yourself. We don't live on an island. We live in a planet with a bunch of people everywhere interconnected by the internet. We have so much technology. You can get support. How do you get support? I started out by reading books. I read books like Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I read books like, here, Jamal, I have cough drops. Here. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I read books like Richest Man in Babylon. You can read books by wealthy people. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is another good book. I'm reading Resolved Leadership. It's about leadership. It's a book I'm reading now. There's books like The Values Factor by John D. Martini. The Millionaire Next Door. There's so many books that you can read about wealth. Read whatever book sounds good that will help you learn more about wealth. Money is My Friend. That's another one. Go to seminars on wealth. There's the Millionaire Mind, which is actually a free seminar. Free. So if you can get into that, just go. They're going to pitch you all their products, which is fine because they're giving you a free seminar. Do you know how much it costs to create seminars? So go to their seminar. They teach you a lot of things. And the way they pitch products, watch how they pitch. Learning how to do sales is one of the greatest skills you can ever learn to become wealthy. So Millionaire Mind is a great seminar. Side Basic Seminar, the cost of that is, I think, $595 to go. Well, it's a 3-day intensive seminar. That is an excellent seminar where you can learn basic skills like goal setting, and you can network with people to have a support network. Once you go to one size seminar, you can actually, Side Basic Seminar, you can go to actually unlimited ones after that for the rest of your life for free. Okay? Find mentors. So if you don't have any mentors, find some. When I realized I wanted to be wealthy, I started looking around and I realized there were people around me who were millionaires that I knew, who I talked to on a daily basis, who could give me advice. So go ahead, look for people who can help you. Look for friends who have no debt. You have friends that have no debt. Ask them what they did. Subscribe to blogs. I have a blog called YesFinanciallyFree.com. It's a great blog. Subscribe to it. I have over 200 articles on there on how to invest in dividends, how to budget your money, how to create great affirmations. I have one blog that has 643 money affirmations on it. Subscribe to my blog. Contact me. I actually offer free coaching, not free coaching, I'm sorry. You actually have to pay for my coaching, but I'm offering group paid coaching sessions. If you're interested in that, message me. Okay, Periscope channel, and I spelled channel wrong. It's actually EL. I apologize for that. But I have a Periscope channel. You can look me up under May Doldalao, MEYDULDULAO. I do Periscopes. I do scopes. Those are live videos on Periscope, which is an app on your phone. You can also watch on your computer. And I do it on financial freedom. I have a financial freedom checklist every Friday where you can go down a list of items, 11 items, and check off how you're doing, right? You can get on the inner economy call with Javin Jones. He's actually not here right now, but he does have an inner economy call. And that's the number to dial to get on, and the access code. He does it every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, my son is awake. Oh, my son is awake. Wealth strategy number 11 is to give. Now remember that budget I showed you where 10% is financial freedom account, 10% is education, 10% is long-term save for spending, 10% is fun, 5% is given, 55% is necessities. Whether you give 5%, 10%, or more than that, giving is one of the quickest ways to feel wealthy. I'm going to share a quick story. The first time I felt really, really wealthy, like super wealthy, I have to admit, was I got my tax return and I had over like $3,000 or something. So I could put aside money in a give account. And I had money in my charity account. I didn't know how to spend it. I went to the Pro Bowl party with Jamal, my husband, and they were auctioning footballs. And I'm a Bills fan, Buffalo Bills. So I started bidding, and I won the football, and it cost $300. But I felt so wealthy because I won this football. I won a $300 football. I won the auction. I was so excited. So that was that was the moment that I felt most wealthy. All the money went to the Special Olympics of Hawaii, and I won this amazing football in an auction. And that's because I had money in my give account. You need to budget money for charity and give money out to help the community. It will make you feel wealthy. It'll make your community wealthy, right? And it's just what you give, comes back. And I'm not saying to do it because of that. However, ever notice when you give smiles to people, people will smile back to you? It's the same thing with money. When you start giving money to worthy causes, worthy investors and businesses are going to seek you out. And that's just the way it is. There's just a circulation law of life, and that's what it is. And giving helps you tap into that, and it's actually linked to gratitude. But the more you give, The more capacity you have to give, the wealthier you will be. So I'm going to leave you on a note that you are already wealthy. Thank you. Love yourself. Celebrate your successes daily. When I started my journey to financial freedom, every day I kept a success journal. I wrote down what I was successful for every day. Subscribe to my blog, yesfinanciallyfree.com. Share this video. Share this blog post with people you care about. Use these wealth strategies. They work. I have a blog, candoitblog.com and yesfinanciallyfree.com. Check out both. Subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me on this webinar today. And so I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and I'm back. I guess Javin didn't have a chance to pop on. He's there. He's just having technical issues. I'm not sure why he can't get on today. But I just wanted to thank you for being on this live call. We did go over 30 minutes, but thank you for joining me. And my son and my husband are up, and my husband has a little bit of a cough. So I hope the cough helps you concentrate more on what I was saying instead of detracting from what you were hearing. So every time you hear the cough in the replay, it'll make you focus even more on becoming wealthy. Okay? So that's a good way to use the cough. So to your advantage, see, you're becoming wealthier every time you hear that cough. And my son has one too, so that means you're going to be double wealthy, right? So thank you for joining me. And I will see you next week, Saturday, same time, 6:30 a.m. Hawaii time. Aloha and take care. Bye.